Yes, this is the team that opens and closes the bumper show on ELBC Radio 99.9 on all frequencies across Liberia. And I'm here till 6 o'clock. One of the biggest uncles is in the building. And Citizen Vice Chair for Operation, Thomas Fallah is here. And he's my lone guest on the show. As you may be aware or not, on December 20th this year, President George Obamanewia December 20th this year, President George Obamanewia say koze for jirate tano tapewia gets a renewed mandate. His partisans, his supporters, will endorse him again for a second term bid at the headquarters of the CDC. Oh yeah, they said Bagugbe should get a second term. And the man behind this whole vision is a CDC operative man. And he happens to be my own uncle. What is involved? What have they seen? What has been done? That they want to give the president a second mandate. Citizens are clear. The operatives of the CDC are clear. The chairman Moro is clear. The vice chair is also clear. Thomas Fallah is clear. And all the other guys are clear. They say it is time to give President Joshua a second term. Because 2023 will be election in October. Welcome to the show. My name is Jallah Emmanuel Nikki Kalufagala Kiang Balakuli Nyale Jallah Grayfield. I'm here till 6 o'clock. If you go to Zewa in Lofa County, my people call me Zobawama. I'm the son of a warrior. And the son of a warrior fears nothing but to do wrong. If you go to Sanoye district, my name is Kiang Balakblu. Kiang Balakblu is the drop back Kenya that is on the head of a child. That child can carry, only adults carry it. Or you call me Kalufagala. Snake and laugh. Welcome to the show. I'm here till 6 o'clock. Always on the show, we invite our people from rural Liberia, our rural broadcasters, the guys who speak the vernacular. They come and pray for us in the vernacular. And they pray for the president, pray for the vice president, pray for the pro tem, pray for the speaker, and pray for all elected officials, appointed officials in government, and pray for the entire Liberian people. And the man who will pray for us today is coincidentally a Kisi man.
Wow.
He will pray for us in Kisi. Saboti? He said,
Jallah Tongo na isa. Tongo Jallah isa. Maikata o anyanjo dimio. Ipeyo ni koli lending. Mene kafinya na chuchu balikale kende numde balikale bogo ya numde. Chi sufinya na chuchu o palendo ning iman num lende labe ngo ba. Iman num sinda chu le lending ding. Ona da chungi ke yunchu ma koma no pombo. Ukun koi wana na chu oche sawaning. Awana chu simda chi alinda wanchu ma pro tem aspike no da koi man num oba minister ya director ya superintendent ya anya ya ni me atwa walo olendende ning man num boba ikendu ana kenum masanom neka ikendu anum te nyenya chu ye me present no de lendende mi de ye la mi le ba diom ple mi le ba ukonyunu ning masanom neka iman num nyenya oba du ocho opombo kanum acho obendo emanum kokalo ta chulendu emanum do bare mai pendu akokalum do ata siranum dang masanom neka emanum wanacho be huno sweyo oba olendendo o soa o dialoni de kosu sana o nyinanum do ning kenu kokalo atasio wanacho be program do bolento ma jala emanum oba wanacho nanon akamra yelanda da tu iman boba imanum radio hoba cuma EOBC sim that you atwa wala nang po manum daba mong anchirendom o pale ngande nenning ye piano minyuna o de aji sulaning amina
balikatao oku udah kita level
Oh, itu lupa.
ya datang lupa ini
Wah, itu balikatao.
that's my body the real body balikatao it means thank you plenty I went to the place along the road going to a place that's the first place going towards Tengia. And my first name, my uncle Fallah speaking is Balikatao. I'll ask the people what the meaning they want Balikatao. But let me take care of this one from PCK, the man who crowns all the song. I'm expecting my younger brother, a very young and bright broadcaster, Julius Decote will join me in this interview. And it's relaying on 10 community radio stations across Liberia and partner radio stations with ELBC as well. Where are my guys in Radio Sanquin in Ima County, Sanakoli? And my guys at Radio DMP Law. And Makona Radio are relaying this program because their song is on this radio. This one is called Protect Our Leaders by the man PCK. In this song, this man is asking God to protect our leaders, protect the President, His Excellency Ambassador George Weah, protect the Vice President, Her Excellency Mayor Neswakoko Joel Howard Tiller, the President of the Liberian Senate Abachi, the Speaker Dr. Buffer Chimers, the Chief Justice Shanayo, all elected officials, and all appointed officials by the government. All Liberians, I love my country, I love my people. Father, save us from this pandemic, especially our leaders. Nangla de Mekami, there you go. If you guys join us and following us on the air and TV live, please share the video so that others will join us. Let me recognize my friend and brother, Kevin DJ Matadi and his crew, who have just entered the studio. The guys from Mika TV are also here. Sarah Whitten, Julius Jettis join me. But I noticed some of the guys who joined us already on our live Facebook feed. This is another broadcast hub. Samson Robertson has joined us. Myers Bazawi has joined us. Toka Gapu has joined us for SKD in Bon County. Adam Emmanuel Kamara has joined us on the RI Highway. Agbo Vera has joined us. Tifila Square has joined us from somewhere in Monrovia. Honorable Emmanuel K. Bolokon has joined us. Patrick M. Duno has joined us. Agboba Vira has joined us. Adam Emmanuel Kamara has joined us. I'll read your comments later because the program is still in its youngest stage. I'm expecting my friend and brother, my young brother Judas Decote. As I say in my intro, President George Weah is seeking a second-term mandate. The CDC that gave birth to the government is playing a very, very important role in this re-election bid. But before 2023, the actors in the CDC, that includes the Thomas Fallah, the Mother Molu, the gabblers and the rest of them, the Sivas Millers and the other guys, are saying that we cannot sit idly until 2023 comes. It is about time to endorse our political leader and prepare him for 2023. So this year, December, on the 20th of December, there will be an elaborate program where President George Open Manek Bagube Sekoze Fogakron Jirate Tanon Tapewia will be endorsed by the CDC. And the man who is the brain behind that is a man who is an operative. I call him the operatives of the CDC, Thomas Pangai Fallah. Let me recognize my nephew, Salia Okamara, who has just joined us in studio. Nephew, welcome. Uncle, let me say welcome to you in a very big way. How do we say in Kisi welcome?
Achahuno.
Achahuno. Yeah. Uncle, please come to the microphone small.
Okay.
We call here for specific reasons. December 20th is a D-Day for Liberia, for the anchor of the CDC. I want to sit back for a while and listen to you. What is happening on that day?
Well, thank you, Jallah. It's a pleasure to be at the ERPC this afternoon. To our people listening to me via this medium, to all of our community radio stations, our friendly radio stations, Liberians in general, I'd like to say it's a pleasure. I'm happy to be here this afternoon. I'm so grateful. I'm happy we give God the glory for bestowing upon our lives, giving us energy, giving us strength, that at least we can converge to speak to our people. So I'm so excited. Thank you to the ERBC family, as well other likes radio stations that beaming and carrying us through this meeting. I'm happy to be here on behalf of my team. We are grateful. Thank you for the invite. Thanks for the opportunity. And those of you that are monitoring, we say thanks for monitoring. Please inform your friends and family because the bigger news is about to be unleashed.
Yes, the bigger news is about to be unearthed. So many community radio stations, 10 community radio stations are relaying this program with those who are in partnership with LBS, 9 others from LBS, and some have volunteered to relay this program because of the essence of the program that has to do with the presidency. Now, I asked you earlier, and I want to answer now. What happens on the 20th of December?
Well, thank you, Jallah. The first thing, let me say, to God be the glory. I gave a big thanks and appreciation to, in this case, I call him our standard bearer of the Martin Coalition for Democratic Change. I was vice standard bearer, and I'm Joel Howard Taylor, the president and the vice president, respectively, of the Republic of Liberia, the governing council of our party, comprised of the three constituent political party, the MPP, the LPDP, and the Congress for Democratic Change, in addition to the National Executive Committee of our both parties, for giving me this opportunity, an historic responsibility that is going to serve as a mark in our political landscape and the history of our country, to allow me serve as the chairperson on the steering committee that has to do with the nomination or re-nomination of His Excellency Ambassador George Weah, and I'm Joel Howard Taylor, seeking the re-elections in the second term bid. I think there is no honor more than this honor, or there is no honor bigger than this. It is a pleasure. I'm humble, I'm delighted, I'm happy for giving me this opportunity to share and to give leadership, give direction, along with my colleagues, my friends of like mind from the Coalition for Democratic Change, committee on those on the steering committee, to on all of the subcommittees that are going to work 24/7 beyond the clock to make this program a success. Now forgetting about our own National Executive Committee, my own chairman and brother, Chairman Mwaba K. Molu, as we speak in the Southeast, would like to say thank you, sir, for allowing us to serve in this state on behalf of the entire committee, nominating committee or nomination committee that has to do with the re-elections of our respective leaders. Today, I'm here, Jallah, and our people in Radio Land to just make it clear that we have come to tell the Liberian people on events, programs that are geared towards the 20th of December. I know there are a lot of issues that we need to expand on, but primarily is to come and say to the Liberian people, December 20th is D-Day. Millions and
Did I hear you say
thousands.
December 12th?
20th, December
okay.
20th
All right. Okay.
is D-Day that we're going to speak in one voice. Group of Liberians, citizens, going to speak in one voice, say thank you to Ambassador Weah, thank you to Joel Howard Taylor for the tremendous work they have done and continue to do for our nation. And that comprised of the 15 political subdivision of our country. Our people are being mobilized to turn up in the numbers, and as a matter of mandate and instruction that has been given to this committee, and you may say term of reference, is to display 1 million Liberian citizens, 1 million Liberian citizens.
1 million human beings.
1 million human being at the SKD Sports Complex on the 20th. And John, when this instruction or mandate was given to us as a committee, we continue to ponder over here. As I speak as chairperson, I'm still pondering because I believe SKD might be small.
Even though you didn't see it as impossible, though.
No, it's not impossible. I'm talking about the possibility to host the 1 million person because more than 1 million person are will be trooping away at the SKD. So that's a challenge for us anyway. But we have started our work. All of the committees would like to say thank you. Committees on mobilization, publicity, entertainment, planning, and policy. All of the committees that were appointed to work alongside with the steering committee and all members of the steering committee, we have been energized to engage the federal county, engage all of ourselves, all of the 73 political subdivision, districts, and then the 15 political subdivision of our country, all of our partisans, even affiliates, some of our friends, even non-partisan, but believe that George Weah, Madam Joel Howard Taylor, they have done exceptionally well. They must be given a second term mandate. They are all prepared in high spirit. They are all canvassing, so to speak, energized in the various basis to make sure that people turn up on that day. So as chairperson of the steering committee, we have come to say to our citizens, to say to our people, that we have come prepared to say thank you to our respective leaders. Thank you for the peace and stability of our country. Thank you for the infrastructure. Thank you for the roads, the connectivities that you have done in relative short period of time, 5 years. Thank you for at least helping to stabilize our economy. We know there are challenges, there are issues, but at least where we sit and stand, if we want to be objective and want to be fair to the day school, we want to say thanks to them. We'll be saying thanks to them on a relative short period of time. Ambassador, we are today, first time in the history of our country since its inception, that today our children, you have managed to pay the WASH fees. Something that I know because I opportunity to see the numbers. WASH fees alone cost the government of Liberia $2 million annually. We're going to say thank you to you, George Weah, along with your vice president and government. Thank you for paying tuitions at all public institutions. Thank you. Because these are things that did not happen over the last 100 plus years. It is your government that introduced those policies that our kids, our children are benefiting today. Thank you, George Weah, for holding this peace. I normally tell people all the emphasis of all the rest of the stuff. Thank you for peace. Thank you for security of our country. We're going to say thank you to George Weah, at least to some extent, that at least the education sector of our country, we can be grateful. While it is true we got challenges, we got difficulties, but as compared to what you may say or think, I think he has done well. And then we prepare to give him his second term mandate. Liberian people are prepared to give him his second term mandate. In spite of all of the political brouhaha, in spite of all of the political, we call it yumu that is going around, but we are quite clear and frank and friend that George, His Excellency is going to be re-elected. And that's why we're going to converge in keeping with Article 17 of the Constitution, the organic doctrine of our country.
The Liberian Constitution.
The Liberian Constitution. The 1986 revised Constitution gave rights to citizens to petition the functionaries of government or individual as they may so desire. So we'll be invoking Article 17 of our Constitution where millions of citizens will converge. This time we're not going to protest. For us, we're not going to protest. We're not going to demonstrate, which of course is our right.
Of course.
But we're going to say thank you under the
laws of
Constitution.
Liberia.
So for us, we're going to say thank you. Our assembly on the 20th of December is to say thank you, is to celebrate, is to prepare ourselves for October by this time. We will be celebrating because I think today is the 31st. So by this time next year, we'll be celebrating the re-emergent of Ambassador William, Madam Joel Howard Taylor, respectively as President and Vice President of the Republic.
Now you said to me here in the introductory comments that you are given a mandate. Where did that mandate come from? For the president of whom?
Well, for the National Executive Committee. The National Executive Committee had the sole responsibility to appoint and give what we call the TOR, our references. And the reference is clear. You have been appointed as chairperson of the steering committee. Is to make sure you organize, you recruit, and we celebrate the re-elections or nomination of the president and the vice president, as we will be putting them or having them on our ticket, meaning the Coalition for Democratic Change. They will be seeking re-elections, and I'm quite knowledgeable, and I'm very clear because I also understand a little bit that these two individuals, on the basis of their merits, on the basis of what they have done, Liberians will be given in the second term mandate, and that mandate is going to be given 2023 October, hopefully by about this time. And more besides, it's not just about the elections, but the elections will be won on the first round.
What gives you that conviction?
Because we have a lot. The conviction is based on the feedback from our people, citizens across this country. There is nothing new, especially those individuals that are coming today. Sometimes I sit and listen when I try to pull up a microscope and put those individuals under the microscope. Those that are opting to seek, they're seeking George Weah and Madam Joel Howard Taylor not be re-elected. When you put them under the pedestal, you understand that there is nothing strange. There is no new innovation. They have no.
You mean those who are aspiring for the highest jobs?
Those are aspiring for the highest seat, thinking that they can remove or replace George Weah 2023. There is no new innovation. There is nothing new. It's like what we say in our local Fallah, that is like no old one in a new bottle, or what you can say. So these are just recycling people. So we just want to focus on our program, but they are nothing. They are no new. They are nothing new. They got no understanding of what is happening because they had their day. They had their opportunity. Some of them went for 12 years. Some of them went for 20 years, 40 years in government. What they did not change over the period of time, they cannot change it after 2022.
But look at all of these political ramifications. I mean, the political system in our country, and when you listen to the opposition when they speak, they're relatively telling Liberians that nothing is happening. The economy is broken down. Joshua is doing this, he doesn't book a dance, and he files so that he's merrymaking, and his officials are involved in rampant corruption. That's the message they are now parading with in the street, in the corridors of politics, and those messages are resonating with the people somehow. So to come and say they are not of more relevance, now it tells me that maybe economical with the truth, Mr. Fallah.
No, you see, I do not want to choose the word like you just said, relevant. We are all Liberians, we are all citizens, we entitled to our views, we entitled to our interests, whatever we want to do, we can do it. But what I'm trying to say is that these individuals that are seeking the highest seat of the land, They are no stranger because they were there before. Jallah, you will agree with me since independence, since 1847. These issues that have been raised today, these issues were issues since some of us were not born. The issue of what? Infrastructure development of our country. It has been in the corridor. Someone will tell you, yes, education, the sector. These are things that have been happening since 1847. Someone will tell you, say, my man, we've been having health problem. Health problem today is not health problem. You have situation with the health sector of our country since 1847. You have situation with what? The education sector of our country since 1847. You have situation with road connectivity, infrastructure, the development growth of our country since 1847. You have issues with the economy. In fact, you remember the famous rest riot, at least we were little at the time. You see rest issue today that oil. So there is nothing new. These are things, even in the last 12 years, people protested, people demonstrated, people walked the street, human rights abuses, killing of people, citizens. We saw people battling on the beaches around here, permanent Liberian citizens. We saw police brutality, citizens going against police. We saw all sorts of things going on around here. So for people to think that it is under this George Weah government that all these things are happening, the only thing that is you requested to give alternative to this problem. So George Weah and his government assume those responsibilities because when you are leaders and seeking the higher seat of the land or seeking any seat is to give alternative. But for people in the opposition to make it look like it is today or it is this regime of George Weah that people are going to bed hungry, that transportation issue just came out, it just pop up since the existence of our country. Sometimes parents people come because they want to play politics and say, oh, our children, we can't pay the school fees, we can't afford. It is only this regime. People want to talk about human rights
but these
abuses.
are things that you promise to do differently, Mr. Fallah,
Yeah,
when
that's
you're
what I'm
opting
saying.
for the
So
presidency.
the irony,
how
listen to
differently
the
are you
irony.
doing it now?
Listen to the
And
irony
you're
of
being
it.
criticized by the opposition.
Yeah, the irony of this is, Jallah, I would have been so pleasant and happy if someone like you, an ordinary citizen that has the right to contest for any seat in our nation, or any citizen that is listening to me through this medium, to come up with these strong opposition or statements, I will be, but not those individuals that are seeking the higher seat today when they had the time. That's the point I'm trying to make. When you had 12 years to deal with the economy, to deal with health issues, to deal with education, to deal with our infrastructure. Now, listen, someone say you can build roads in 100 days. How? So these are deception. No, these are deception.
Who said
citizen, a permanent citizen, eminent
Okay.
citizen.
He
And
can
these
build
are
road in 100
sensational.
days.
Because for me, I'm from the development background, understand what it means. So to just do these things is just wrong. It's just wrong. You try to put deception in the minds of our people, cut across our citizens, so it's not right. All we want to keep our focus as chairperson is to keep my focus. We go into the villages, go into the trenches, go into the counties, go into homes. Even those of our partisans that are disenchanted from her, it is our responsibility as a committee to go to our people, appeal to them, negotiate with them. Let's come back on the drawing board. Let's give George Weah the second term. I think he had his time because every process needs time to grow. You have grown over a period of time. It's now time to execute. George, you have done well. Joel, you people, both of you, President, Vice President, you have done well. So we as citizens, we're going to say thank you and petition you for your re-elections. And not only to petition him and his Vice President, but we're going to stand and canvass into the trenches, the villages and towns to make sure that these two individuals are elected.
I will come to, let me introduce my young brother here. But, you know, what you're saying right now, it may seem very easy, but you know that they are disenchanted citizens. Since 2017, he got elected. When you listen to the talk shows, there are people who call and say, I've been a citizen, but no, the way things are happening, I cannot continue with that. And you listen to all of those, I want to know, how do you bring these guys together? Because you calling for 1 million people to converge at SKD. How do you reconcile those disenchanted citizens who have been seeing the negatives of the government as you move forward in December to do what you want to do? That question remains on answer on that. Introduce my brother. You will answer that. Let me introduce my young brother. Julius Degodinja. He changed his name on Facebook. That name is very difficult for me. I don't know. On his but let me say this. Every time I brought Deconti on the show, I would always like to say this about him. A young man who aspires for greater things. When I was a lead talk show host and manager for Love FM, Love TV, a library journal newspaper owned by Ben Naiwe, Julius J was a regular caller, along with James Gray, Janje Biakbe, the Samson D, and the rest of the time he called. My name is Julius J. I'm calling from Nyafota, Ghanarsville. And this day I walked to True FM to see my brother Patrick Hon. We were both currently executive mansion. This young man walked to me, very talented young man at the time. He said, "Hello, Mr. Grayfield." Someone said this, Jallah Grayfield. He said, "Oh," he came and said, "Mr. Grayfield, hello." I said, "Hello. This is Julius J." I said, "Oh, you're a regular caller." He said, "What are you doing here?" He said, "I want to be a journalist." Can you imagine that? Those are years back, almost 15, 20 years back. Then I said, "Wow, I wish you all the best." And Julius J went to school at the AME, got a degree in journalism, and I think he got a degree, but he got some accolade before he graduated. But now he has become one of the biggest talk show hosts in our country. Sharing the platform with him this evening, it makes me feel happy. Julius, welcome. How are you, my brother?
I'm doing very well. Thanks so kindly for the introduction, and I was wondering who you're talking about.
Let me recognize Judah Red. Judah Red was behind camera at OKFM.
Yeah, when we were doing the morning show.
Yeah.
Just as reminiscent of the morning show we did then. We've been coming ever since.
Yeah.
We did not want to break traffic rules.
Okay.
The driver wanted to use opposite lane. I told him, no, that's not going to work when I'm in here. Yeah, but it is good to be here to quiz Representative Fallah on a whole host of very pertinent national issues.
Okay. So, Mr. Fallah, it goes back to you. I was asking about the unity in diversity. Many of your friends are other government. They are in government. They were people who worked with you along when you were in opposition. When you hear the name of Aji Sanon, the rest of the guys who were beating with the batons here, during Ellen time, I know they went through difficult times, and not just that, but many citizens were here with you. When you call for a sitting at the city headquarters, they came in at numbers. They brought their own T-shirts. They bowed down before people, and their names are printed on those T-shirts. But some of them are now disenchanted. Now you're moving for the second term of George. We are. How do you bring them back on base?
Yeah, Jar,
What is the reconciliatory move you're making?
I think that's a serious policy strike, and that should be one of the main responsibilities of this committee, and not only this committee, but our respective leaders, the standard bearer and the vice standard bearer of our party. It is true that there's nothing that we can brag or hide behind anything. Some of our partisans are not happy, ranging of what we call stratification, jobs. Maybe others feel they're being disrespected, they are disenchanted for different reasons. And it's not just unique to CDC or the coalition alone. All the political parties, even in our various homes, John, your children in the home that you give birth to, every time you send them to school, you feel them, you take care of them. Your wife, they say something teeth and tongue, they also fight. These are things that number in the existence of human. But the ability to cultivate and make sure that these things do not continue is what matters as a human. So it's not just the CDC. Even you listen to some of the political parties around every day, those that even seeking elections to lead the country, they have not gotten in that space. But every day, you know, they equal. Every day they're forcing out the political parties at quarter. Every day they're tuning the leaders. So you see, it's not only the CDC. So the CDC has its own problem, which is truth. We have disenchanted partisans. We got some of our friends feel that they did well, they worked, they suffer, and which is very right. And then they have not been recognized. So it is our responsibility to extend our hands of fellowship and tell you, say, no, bro, if they're not happy this time, it doesn't mean you're not happy. Because the first thing is, the next move you want to make is there is no guarantee that what CDC did not give you in the 6 years, you're going to get it on the other side. Because the first thing I would tell you are aliens on the other side politically. Mm-hmm. Because there's no trust. The man know me like Fallah leave from CDC and go join the next party because I'm not happy how I was treated. What guarantee do I have that when I get there, I'm going to be given the flexibility and all the consideration that I require? So we try to negotiate with our parties. And gentlemen, We agree there are issues you raised, there are salient points, but we would think that we remain right here, get back on the drawing board, and make our leaders to understand that here there are things that you did in the first term, you need to change them. The formula and the goalposts have to change so that we can satisfy our people. And they are right, we like to use this meeting to always, even at the level of the party headquarters under the tree, the chairman, the standing bearer, all of them have said we must have what we call bargain, to be bargain, get back under the tree. Let's reconcile among ourselves. Let's have a single and a singular front. So we will continue to talk. Part of our strategy is to continue to talk to our friends, to continue to talk to our partisans. You see, the other side of it is, while it is true our people are vexed, they're not happy, but guess what? They see institution that people you are not happy with, others want to be part of it, so we try to negotiate. It's a point of negotiation because this is a game of negotiation. You talk to your people. They will have to be vexed. If they have issues, the issues are genuine, the issues are salient, they are on point. Nothing else you can do is to sit on the negotiation table, like you're sitting on the dining room table with your children, your wife, and family, to say, no, I'm the father of the home. Yes, there are mistakes that are made, there are issues within our family, there are programs and plans that we have for this year. I did not achieve them, but I think we can achieve them next year. And you don't have to be so boastful and because I'm the father, you spread your arms. No, that approach can work even in your home. You must be able to set the madam down and be able to tell her, say, look, madam, even though I told you I resoluted that this year we're going to buy land, I could not afford to buy the land.
The money not there.
The money not there. Why you did not get the money? Explain. If you explain in honesty, I know madam will come. Now she will be tough, but she will come. Now. Similarly with all of us as human.
So
Now, let me introduce Julius now. I will sit back for I will sit back for 50 minutes and I'll allow you for
how many
some
times
questions.
you want?
No, not introduce the introduction, but I will allow you for over 50 minutes. But let me acknowledge that Voice of Hope radio station in Plebo, Maryland County, is relaying us. The Speaker of the House said he's monitoring the show with other legislators, and so he has asked the people in Maryland where Julius J comes from. The land of they call it how you call it New Jerusalem.
The land of sunshine.
Yes. And so Bobby Addison, thanks a lot for that. I will sit back for a while, for 10-15 minutes. Let Julius flow some questions.
Let's remain on the petitioning or however it is called. You said you were bringing 1 million people out.
Yes,
how possible is that? Where are you getting it from?
Bureau of Citizens, Julius. We did it before. We have what we call 1 million members before the beginning.
You seem to have a knack for calling big numbers when there is no empirical evidence to prove that you're able to pull 1 million people, especially at the SKD, whose capacity is.
But I'm sorry, what is empirical to you could not be empirical to me. In your analysis, you will say it's not empirical. I am telling you it's empirical because I have done it before. We have been in this process for the last 12 years. When we locked down the entire Monrovia, the entire Montserrado, the various 50 counties across here, people celebrated prior to the president elections at the time. So we are telling you the mechanism is being employed. As I sit here with you, the national chairman of our party is now in Maryland, in your county. He has left this place for the last 4 to 5 days. He has been posted, engaged in our people. We will now unravel our strategy. I just came from Fallah. In fact, I entered here day before yesterday night, engaged in our people on our side, the northeast side. So that our parties is deployed everywhere. So we have done it before, it's not strange. So I think we can give the 1 million.
Why is it significant? Why is that?
It's significant because this president have done a lot of work. The vice president, the president along with his government, we believe, the 1 million citizens that will be displayed at the SKD to petition them for the presidency and the vice president comes 2023. We believe that they have done well. And we're going to petition them because, but don't get me wrong, Julius, there are challenges. And
before we even go to the challenges,
we're going to petition them.
It is a fact that it is a known fact that George Weah and Joe Howard Taylor holding all factors constant unless something goes wrong. They are going to run for a second term on the CDC. So this is more about energizing your base.
It's part of the strategy to energize our base, put our policy in the gear, to come and celebrate the president and the vice president that will be seeking re-elections. And that work is ongoing. There are serious committees that are in the slums. In the various districts, district coordinators have been energized or re-energized. The youth chairperson have been energized or re-energized. The Women League of our party, 100 plus auxiliaries of our party has been energized. Don't forget we have constituent political parties. The 3 constituent political parties are on their feet along with the leadership, making sure that this program is real, this program is massively attended so that we can send a signal. And the program is not limited or will not be limited just to Montserrado or Liberia. Citizens that are concerned, partisans that are concerned in the diaspora, in the USA, you saw what was demonstrated when the president went to the UNGA with all the Rahaha, the noise of the political tension that's in the country. But you saw hundreds of citizens, because you know, Julius, you were in the West, or if I may say, you know what it means for someone to leave his or her work in America to come and assemble in New York, to take 3, 4, 5 hours or 24 hours of his or her time. So that alone should tell you that yes, indeed, we're on the road to victory, we're on the road to success. Notwithstanding, yeah, there's issues. People in Europe will be celebrating as we speak. Program planning is going on. Australia CDC, USA CDC, Europe. You know, I was so amazed a few days when I started hearing people sending to my chat room, my message back, messaging me, you got CDC Kenya, you got CDC Arico, you got CDC Ghana. And you know, I got so amazed. And people pretty teacher and say, Mr. Chairman, organizing chairman, I'm so, I'm calling from this country, I'm calling from this state, and blah, blah, blah. We all coming, we're going to be part of the program all across the globe. So this is going to be a unique one, and you can be assured, Chileans and the Liberian people, the 15th political subdivision, Chileans, as we speak, program engagements going on.
Okay,
In fact, we just got through the leadership of our party. They just got through a restructuring all of our cells in the Fallah County, and all those cells have been activated. As we speak now, they have been energized, they're working, and they have been given some requests to bring partisans. We're not only going to focus in Montserrado, but the 15 counties, we're trooping people to Montserrado.
Without trying to go back over what you and Jallah sparred over, you when I was coming, I heard you mention the challenges and how they are not unique to this administration. They have been like existential to the country. Well, in 2017, when you were coming to power, it was about change for hope. So one would think that your government should be on the path of changing these things. What have you really changed, and what kind of hope have you inspired?
Simple, except politics want to interplay. You know, you and I were here, we are citizens. So sometimes I like for people to be honest, but in politics, probably is the order of the day. Honesty is not involved anymore in politics. Julius, if you will agree with me, before we get to the challenges, let's agree there are positive things that are happening in these 5 years. Is it not true?
Like what?
Come on, let's go to the roads. I live Johnsonville. I own my property since 2008. I had a land in Johnsonville, 2008. Prior to CDC coming to power, I could not build a house or a kitchen on Johnsonville. The reason why I could not build my house, I was in power, I was representative. I was representative at Goya 4, but then I was living so clean, those that know me. But I owned that place, 2008. I could not move Johnsonville, that I could not afford to pay 2-3 bedroom house to move there, because I really like the place, it's isolated, it's quiet. And citizens that are listening to me through this meeting today, because I was born in Pittsville anyway. All my life, grew up, everything, my hustle day, everything in Pittsville. From Puebla or from Railway Market, straight to Johnsonville. Students, car could barely pass. Cars get stuck. Motorbikes get stuck. But today,
I'm a witness to that.
I'm
I'm a resident of the area, though.
Thank you. My friends, listen to me, because we grew up in the slum of Pittsville, Railway. We saw it Railway. Students, today, I sleep in my car, people drive me. Today, when you see investment package, the size of enlarging in Johnsonville, people building the homes, people carrying their cars, businesses. Today, you go to Johnsonville Turning Point, that was a no-go zone. Go there, you see stores. Like only people moving in. Today, you go to Johnsonville Turning Point, just to name a few, going to Mount Barkley. That was amazing. The other day, driving through, I saw massive work going on from Johnsonville Turning Point, heading to Mount Barkley. You know what that means, Julius? Because meaning you're not going to use that heavy traffic to run through the Mount Barclay, how we call it, Omega anymore. So you can just detour from Mount Barclay checkpoint, you pass through Josephville and come through Mount Barclay. You can use Mount Barclay, you go where? You go Drivers Market, Panaville. You can use that route and go through Bear and stop and cross and get into Jallah. You can use that route because of road connectivity. You get 2 South feet and get out. Avoid the traffic on the main Gannaville Road. Someone wants you to believe or want me to agree that nothing has happened. I say no. I say no. Someone wants you and I to believe we went to school here. There was a challenge, problem for parents. When you and I told Wise or Wires, we call it today, it was a challenge for us to enforce $60. Our parents getting $60 or $70. You and I know what we went through. And as the results, our children were exploited, especially female children. Because what they used to do, you get a form going from uncle, going to auntie, going to big brother to raise what? $70 US to go and pay your wife fee, because there's a time bound that if you don't pay this money at this time, you will not be allowed to do your wives or wives. Someone wanted Liberians to believe that that is nothing, which is about $2 million annually. Someone wants you and I to believe, or me, Thomas Fallah, that understand there's small experience and knowledge. Public institution, the University of Liberia, just 21 credit hours or 50 credit hours. Some of our friends that pass through the walls of the University of Liberia or public institutions, just 10,000 Liberian dollars. Because if you put the entire package, you do all your credit hours, 10,000 Liberian dollars. Some of our friends could not afford that money. Either they're running for scholarship, either they're running to places, uncle, nephew, especially our female trying to raise. Someone wants you and I to believe, or me, to believe that is nothing. Children, I think a lot has been done. The question is, we need more? Yes, we do need more.
One may think that you've been given more and you've done less, because there are other issues, the real economic issues. This government came to power on the backs of extremely poor people who will campaign for George Weah everywhere, and their hope was that their lives will be lifted out of poverty.
Let me just end the question. I heard you say more has been given to this government. You have to put it in context. Because if you talk about more...
When I say more, when they gave you power,
okay.
That is more. That is giving you more. Because power is given unto you.
Okay.
And so the expectation is that, especially for the very poorest of the poor, the transformation of their lives and lifting them out of poverty. Up to present, we really don't know what the numbers are if this government has really lifted anybody out of poverty.
Oh, but Julius, taking someone out of $2 million, let me use these two as an example. I'm a father. If I, Thomas Fallah, yes, we'll come to the bread and butter, the rest issues and stuff. But you are father, Julius. I don't have any more worry on my head. Like thousands of parents in our country here today, nobody ever think about wires payment anymore. How do you so, except it fit your own characterization of poverty being lifted? But I will also characterize the lifting of poverty with my understanding. To take $60 US from me if I had 3 children, only 12 grade or so do wise or wire. And government say I'm paying $220. It's now a way of alleviating poverty. As I personally, as a parent, I do see it that way.
Well,
it's somewhere I come in, I do see it because what the lenses I wish you see things. Don't expect me to use your lenses because I have lenses.
There is
another person. That comes to the issue of public institutions.
Before you leave that, there is a general lens through which poverty is seen. People living on less than $2
we coming to that.
a day, talking about feeding, talking about housing, talking about the basic necessities of life. Those are still the very key challenges that Liberians have faced from age to age, and sadly, your government has not been able to give us numbers to say since we came to power over the course of 5 years, we've been able to lift 10,000 people out of poverty. They were at this level. This is where we have them now.
Oh, you know, I go to the health center. I've listened many times. Listen, this government came to power, Julius. I think the Minister of Finance or those guys, the technician, have said it time for numbers. Probably maybe the communication, the politics where he's trying to interplay, where they absorb 2,000 staffers from the health ministry in the health center. Today, we're sitting here, you're talking about 2,000 persons are being absorbed. Two problems there. Don't get me wrong, because I try to balance the conversation, not making it look roses, that everything is okay. Everything is not okay. But my point I'm trying to make is, can we acknowledge the little and press for more? Yes, it's where I'm coming from. Yes, this government needs to do more.
Others think that you don't deserve a second
Yeah,
term because you
those
are not
that
doing
say,
enough
those that
with
raising
power.
the argument,
So
let's
we
go to the
change.
configuration of those that raising the argument, Julius. I just said in your answer, if ordinary citizens call from Bogon or anywhere and
No,
say,
I'm not speaking on behalf of the politicians. I'm speaking on behalf of
No,
the
but I'm
ordinary
telling
people.
you, I'm telling you,
Let me the
those-
politician
no.
argument because you
But it
have
has always
already
been.
dealt with that.
Judah, it has always been, I raised the issue of since 1847. The issue of bread and butter has been existing. You didn't see it, you didn't feel it since you and I grew up born in this country. There was government in the past. We're not trying to shift blame, but people want our citizens to believe that the issue of bread and butter is just now.
Okay.
That's my disagreement
Now,
a little
one
bit.
more thing.
The issue of road connectivity and infrastructure of our country, because these are things that you spoke up, you try to press on. The issue of electrification, current in our community, the issue of water. These are issues that have been in existence. I also expand and say the peace and stability of our country, human rights issues, injustices. These issues been in existence since 1847.
And that's why you bring the power to
Notwithstanding,
change
we
them.
keep the power to change them. Are we working on some? Are we making progress? I will tell you yes.
Okay.
There are there challenges.
We have to
Yes,
make
I'll tell you
progress.
yes.
So,
Yeah,
let me just ask you one more
yeah,
thing
yeah,
on the. Recently, you made a quite controversial statement, and that
I
statement.
wanted to keep that statement at the second lapse of the
Don't want to do
conversation.
that.
No, let's just go into it,
No,
Jallah.
no, I want to keep it
Before we
because
go to the next issue.
that will be the next issue because
No,
the
that
other
you don't
two-
bring up because it's a burning issue.
I know Judas is branding to ask the question because he's interfacing with you now. But Mr. Fallah, you talk about the issue of electrification in the country, and quite frankly, I will say to you, without that
progress.
saying anything, is that the government made a very big
Big
step
boost.
in
that
Ivory Coast.
sector.
I don't know what Jallah was part of that delegation there though.
No, where?
But in Ivory Coast, so
No,
we
that
have.
was our reporter.
Yeah,
You
so
mean the
you had a
CS
reporter, yeah, you see
reporter?
G.
Yeah, we had a
So,
reporter
yeah,
there.
so you had a reporter there. So what is
Augustine
it?
Colley was
What
there.
does it mean for the country?
Positive,
Having this
positive. So
because
it tells
we are
you-
going towards the dry season, and our local electricity grid cannot give us all of the power that we need.
You see, I listened one time to the Minister of Finance, and he been brilliant by cross-section of our citizens, especially our colleagues and friends from the opposition, when you're trying to make mention of the rainy season, the water issue at the dam, and a lot of people say, oh, my man, you're making story out of that. Well, guess what? Since we got in the rainy season, again, you know, I try to speak in context and be a little careful so that we can speak the facts to our people. When you said during the dry season, there are issues when it comes to electrification, there are issues with power because sometimes the dam or the water gets dry. And he was trying to say, from my understanding, that when the rainy season comes, you get inflow of current and power will be all over the place. This entire, for where I live, Josephville, I don't know about other part of the country. There are issues, there are other communities here. When you check those problems, either it's for transformer, the brain transformer, or something. But electricity has been stable to some extent for the last 2, 3, 4 months. Current in some homes. The misapplication, mismanagement of some of those assets has been the problem. And Liberia need to, but how many of them ever came and say, yeah, we get current sales? In fact, today is what? Monday. Since this morning, my home got power. These are earnest conversations, but it will make it look like nothing positive when it comes to current. How many of them have ever said, man, the issue of water problem, water running, or in my community, at least, LWSC, with all of the challenges, the difficulties, at least we can see some
But
water running.
Mr. Fallah, that's why you promise the people.
No, we promise
Give
some
me
working.
power because that's the power that's the social contract you signed with them.
Chala,
Mr. Fallah, it was a social contract you signed with
the
them.
social
Give
contract,
me
you
power,
give
I
me
will
power,
give
I
you
will
social
do it.
benefits.
But listen to
and
the
so if
problem.
they benefit for you at the time, they wouldn't say, but when they have difficulty, they
No,
will
but
say.
it's coming. So why can't you acknowledge the little that is happening? That's my point. Acknowledge that yes, road connectivity is taking place. Jallah, you and I grew up in Raleigh, yeah. From Pakoping Junction to Iadore today is going to have 4 lanes. We saw it before since our existence, except this government. You are journalists. We all grew up in PV. We saw in Raleigh Market. You saw it?
I'm seeing
But there
it
were
for the- I'm seeing it
government
for
in the
first time.
past. Today, if you give this government chance in the next 1 year, we have what we call 4 lanes, right? Even though someone will come up with an argument and say, yes, it was arranged and negotiated from past government. But today, sometimes I feel so happy. I just sit in my car and drive a radar straight Freeport. Not to do anything, just to see the beauty of our street. Yes, it came from one government and got into this government. These are all things that we talk about. Government come, government go. But today it's being completed.
You can be on a different hustle.
On Fallah.
You can be on a different hustle. That's good to see.
On Fallah. Let me. Let me ask the junior then. What kind of operation make it be on?
A social operation you want to do. But Jallah, you know, all of us we are running people with the road from Red Light to Freeport. Let's be honest, but when the lights are on, it's so beautiful.
And
It's
one
so
day I was
beautiful.
driving that rain to the bank of the road, just on the other side. Yeah, around those junction.
That was bad driving. You don't have good outside,
No,
but you always.
no, good outside.
You always go.
Are you my doctor? Are you my
Always
doctor?
go late.
Are you my doctor to say I don't have good outside? But Mr. Fallah, the issue of roads in Montserrado is quite different from roads in the rural parts of the country.
That's
Now,
better.
the road going to your county Lofa is not pliable. And I know sometimes you may use Sierra Leone to come to Monrovia. Those going to the southeast, Maryland, River G and Grand Crew cannot go there because of the same similar road condition. Thanks to the Public Ministry that has been doing some very good help in the rural parts. I listened to the minister when she sat on Supper Judge on the same radio, and she made mention of strides they were made, and by the dry season they were made significant progress. But you're making mention of roads in Montserrado, but those in the rural parts are saying farm to market roads are not available. They are produced and have been brought to town. When they make their farms, all of these things get rotting. They cannot bring it to town, so it's giving a serious problem. Now we have a biomedicine.
And meetings, Jallah, you see, we, like I said, understand is needed in the day school. My problem is the deception and dishonesty because people want political power. So they try to downplay and close their eyes on some of these things. We're not going to sit there that all is positive. Okay, let's get to the issue of the Lofa rule. Jallah, you and I just left from there a few months.
Of course.
Is it difficult? Is it challenging? Yes.
It is.
From Konya to Vonyama, it's a difficult route. The cars really, people really struggle, our people really suffer, especially during the rainy season. But do we have anything positive that's going on? I say yes. Because since my existence, from Banga Bond County to where the quota is nearing to the bridge, Piensta, this is the first time to see quota. So it means something has commenced. We need more to be done? Yes. More need to be done because it is the responsibility of government to do more. Yes, more need to be done. But to just close your eyes and say, absolutely nothing is happening. That's not
I
true.
think.
Let's go to Yekipa. Let's go to Yekipa.
Just hold on the issue of the Lofa Road, quickly. Apart from the paving, I think one of the issues that the population will look out for is maintenance of the lateral road, even during the rainy season. That means you as lawmakers are supposed to empower public works with more resources so that they maintain those places before they can ever be paved.
And let me tell you something, Julius. I even said it when I went to Lofa County. I'm here from Lofa, originally why it's true represent Montserrado County.
And the
Visiting
previous
the
question.
county. I mean, that would be fine another time. When I was just trying to
Those are
share,
attractions.
yeah, I was just trying to share with some of my friends. You see, Julius, sometimes we need to take responsibility as national leaders. I understand it's tough, it's not easy. Someone will counter argue me and say it's not my responsibility or it's not our responsibility. But collectively, we are part and parcel of a government. The three branches of government, we are there. If the government fails, I believe we all fail to some extent. So what happened? If I'm a lawmaker there, my man, if I can pour 10 gallons of fuel, you buy 5 gallons, and buy 5 gallons, can we do some personal intervention? Because when this road is cut off, our citizens suffer. They don't commute. Can we do some minor intervention to say, my man, we'll look for one machine to put it on the
But what is stopping the government from doing
I'm
it
coming
first?
to the government. I'm coming to the government. That's one aspect because we all have a responsibility as stakeholders and national leaders of those areas. Why it is true someone with I can't argue and say it's not my responsibility, but you too owe it to your people. The second phase of the argument is it is government sole responsibility. Is government striving? Is government working? Yes. Evidence by what? I can see the road leading from Banga today. We're almost in PN's time. That has not happened before. It happened under this regime. So why can't we acknowledge the little and
The
government
most
is
about
working?
Menekoma
Road. It has speak up. So even that assume it's not going to enter in Menekoma in this government regime, even if you gave them the 12 years, but at least the next government will have a platform to begin from right there. Assuming the guys stop or this government stop environment. That's development. That's how it's go. If this government stop in Salaye or Zozo, the next government will pick up from Zozo. They're not going to start from Banga anymore. So you see what I'm talking about?
I was more concerned about the maintenance of the lateral portion, so that it is pliable. It is an all-weather road throughout the year, even as the pavement is ongoing.
So what we do, that's why we need to put a mechanism. The government has our own role to play.
You just need to put money in the public works.
So we're going to do that. But
when?
sometimes the bureau... No,
you have just 1 year to go. It is very possible that you will not be re-elected.
The government will be re-elected.
Well...
And so I listen to.
But you know,
let's
be honest, we have to win George. We are.
You have Joseph Boakai choking you people neck to neck. You have Alexander.
What's the new innovation here?
You have Gongo, a new blood on
the people that are talking about removing George. We are. And they had the responsibility, the opportunity to serve in this country.
But not as president.
No.
He was vice president.
Oh, come on, my man, come on. I'm a representative. I'm a representative.
And that's your uncle. We're talking about your uncle.
You know what you're talking about? You no, I don't want us to go there so we can thwart the conversation. Yeah. You got a serious responsibility to bring development to your people. You did not carry development. You're talking about agriculture. You're talking about road. You're talking about children with the youth. Come on. You had the biggest platform ever. Second man in this country. No recommendation that you stay in your grounds. Even if other 10, one will count. One will matters. Today, what's the road you're talking about? You want to question this government about Lofa Road?
No, so Mr. Fallah.
You know what you're talking about?
Mr.
You know sometimes I say some things here, no matter I tell first. Whatever way you want to classify, look at Nima today. Nima have done well and they're doing well.
But you
know what?
Jallah, hold on the issue of former Vice President Boakai, he is beating you in all of the polls across this town. Even if you did an opinion poll on EOBC, it's very possible that he could whip you people here too.
Okay,
that means a whole lot of citizens are seeing him as the alternative.
No, he's a statesman. You can't take that from him. He has served this country for 40 plus years. He's known. He's someone that people know very well. You can't take that from him. He's highly respected.
But when it comes to the presidency,
he's a threat.
No, he's not a threat. He has his role to play. But I'm saying it's nothing new comes to the table. So
now,
at the end of the day,
let me go back to the question that Judah asked earlier about the lateral road. Now, I listened to the Minister of Public Works again, talking about 40 machines of whatever moving equipment being brought to the country for the maintenance of roads. Now, he asked about you allocating more money in the budget for the Public Ministry to address some of these issues about road connectivity. And because the president has boasted about the issue of road, he said, I'm the Barrow Medicine. Musicians have made sung his name, Barrow Medicine, Behube. They may have made Johnson Road Mawata, other ones. So, but the people in the Southeast still need roads. Now, what do you do as a legislator, as a man who wants to see President George Weah gets a mandate for second term and win the election? What do you do as Thomas Fallah and the Ways Means chairman of the legislature, the lower house,
our colleagues,
to get more money in the budget?
And especially is the theater of exchange of ideas. Everyone have their own interests because they have their own constituents and there are different issues in the various districts. So sometimes when it comes to the legislature, it's a matter of negotiation because you will be looking at it this way and the next man will be looking at it the other way around because what is unique to you is not unique to the president. So if you ask me, I would say yes, colleague, if I can win the majority vote on the floor to convince members, I think even if you ask me 50% of our national budget should just concentrate on road, personally.
Okay.
Because
All
the
right.
rule,
Now,
if you
So
ask
let me
personally-
announce to the public that we have other networks really
Yeah,
this
but
program.
I just don't
And
want to
I'll-
forget because I got our program on my.
Yeah, no, let me
Yeah,
let me
but,
announce
we
it.
are-
Come down.
we
Those are
still on
jotted.
that program.
And so OK TV, we have Cable TV represented by Kevin DJ Matadi. We have Banner TV. We have our guys from Mikyat, they from Lina TV. They all relaying this program. Again, this is ERBC Radio and other frequencies across Liberia. 10 community radio stations are relaying this program along with ERBC 9 statutory radio stations relaying this program. Radio Sanko and others are here. They are relaying
9
this
statutory
program.
radio stations.
Yeah, of course, LBS.
Now, let us come to the petition again. One controversial statement that you made, which boils down to some of the governance issues and some of the issues people have with your government, the issue of ineffectiveness, is when you announced that there will be an executive order and that officials of government had to report to the party headquarters by 4 in their paraphernalia, as if you were trying to force loyalty, making people to leave their working places earlier. You were not concerned about the work in government and that people need to go to party headquarters to show loyalty, like Wilson Tape, and all of that. How?
But you see, I listen to some of the session on the comment I made. You see, sometimes people get a way of shifting comments or remarks made by individuals to suit their own political or their own quest. I was clear. And these are things that are common and unique to almost every political parties and right. I go to the political party. It is my understanding that normal working hours should be from I think 8 to 4. Am I correct?
I don't know.
No, you can help me because I think that's what I know. Because I made a comment. Normal working hours, officially, statutorily, should be from 8 a.m. to 4. Except for any other business or reason, maybe ministerial or managerial level, that you want to stay in office. Maybe after a day's work, 4 o'clock, you stay in the office to do some work. That means you should be at the top level.
Others say 9 to 5.
Others will say 9 to 5. But what I know, except I'm corrected, the research can be done today, then I learn from that. But I know it should be from 8 to 4. So we spoke in context. We spoke to our partisans. And that was a movement to keep exciting our base. We understand that not everyone are part of CDC government are CDC people. No. There are so many professionals. They are non-partisans. We are knowledgeable. We are quite aware of that. We were speaking to the conscience of our partisans. But you know the good thing about it, Judas, in as much people try to verify my comment, but the partisans, the seditious, the local, the common CDC men celebrated that comment.
Well, this is...
No, I'm coming. The reason they celebrated it was, it is a pleasure to see the leaders. It is a pleasure to see those they suffer for to put into power. Because if George Weah was not going to be elected as president, they were still going to be ministers. Some of them were never going to be assistant ministers. They were not going to be director. I'm speaking to partisans. Don't get me wrong. I want to be on track. Partisans. Even by extension, non-partisans, maybe some of them got job because of friendship, connections. They got job. But primarily, to be appointed, your president must win. To be appointed, your president must be the leader of the country, especially the executive branch. So as chairman of the committee, as the vice chairman for operations, for my party, I was only sending this message, and I stand by this.
Now,
That
so-
my partisans, from 8 a.m. to 4 o'clock, do your work. From 4 o'clock, Julius, if you want to be honest, 4 o'clock, some of us, we get family meeting because you lock your office door. If no politics is in it, to be honest.
No, but okay.
No, I'm coming
And
because,
so keep it
because you
honest.
try to make emphasis.
No, I was one of those critical of your statement.
Okay.
And for 2 days.
So when you leave your
I
office,
actually
when you leave your
took
office
him-
6, You go to
No,
one
that
three,
is
your
not
program,
important that is not important now. So,
After
so
the
few things to clear out.
mentor show you
No,
rapping.
few
Yeah.
things to clear out.
They make it today.
Few things to clear out. One, it was about the president passing an executive order
The president
that
did not.
that you mentioned. And,
No. Come to the clip. I did not mention the president. I said,
You say I am told that
Oh,
an executive order will be passed weeks
Julius,
from now.
come back. You see. I think you missed the mark. Then you slipped.
No, so
Julius.
let
For
us
you to
just-
say president,
let us just
if
get-
I am told, in connotation. Let me your trust of words.
No, but who can
I
pass
am
executive
told.
order?
Oh. No, we're talking about political party executive.
Something that tells officials of government to be at the party.
No. I think you misconstrued.
By
Oh,
4.
but Julius, no, that I see why you slip, man.
If you said they should
We
be at
got
the party
political
headquarters.
jargons.
No, that's
Maybe
not
you don't
political
know.
jargon.
That political jargon to stir your base.
So-
if I come and say executive order in my capacity, number 00225, as chairman of this committee, it doesn't mean the president of the Republic of Liberia has given executive order.
No, but-
There are procedures
No,
in
but-
giving executive order from
But
the
then
president.
what will be your authority over
As
employees
chairman,
of
no,
the government? You said
partisans.
officials of
No,
government. No, you didn't say
partisans with
partisans.
emphasis.
No, you said
Wear
officials.
your beret.
You said
Wear your
officials.
beret.
And that's what
But
the question
officials,
was.
partisans are officials of this government, Julius. If you minister 12, for example, he's not just ordinary, he's the partisans or matter of our party. Let me use it as an example. So if Minister 12, 4 o'clock is out of his official business, and the party asked him to come to party headquarters, he shouldn't come. Speaker Buffer Chima was there the other day.
No, don't you
I
think-
come in.
don't-
I come in.
and so don't
4
you think
o'clock,
there
Buffer
is-
Chima, you
so
honor your
don't you
office as
think-
speaker, you must come to the party headquarters because we need to make sure we work, we mobilize, we strategize.
And so don't you
Pro
think?
tem,
Don't you think?
4 o'clock from
Hold
your
on,
office,
sir.
you must come to the party
Okay,
headquarters.
now,
So
hold on,
does,
sir.
does, that,
Hold on,
does,
hold
that,
on.
does that apply to all appointed officials of the government?
Partisans.
Or partisans?
Now sticking to the partisans.
Now you are clarifying. But in that statement, you said officials of government.
No.
And that is why we have issues with you. Secondly, let's agree.
Julian,
Now
let
now
it
you
easy,
are
easy.
clarifying.
Let it
Right?
easy.
Now,
Let
so-
us
But
easy.
you know,
Now,
political
one
men
more
spoke
thing.
at his political party headquarters. You think I'm not inclined to know that all those that work in the CDC government are not partisans?
One more thing.
And not smart
Two
to that
things.
level. You think I'm so limited to call
no.
non-partisan. You will even imagine that non-partisans will enter that place?
Now,
No.
Now, two
They are
things.
professional.
Two things.
They
One,
work in the government, but they are not
yeah,
partisans.
we have to move on from this point. So
Yeah,
two
because
things.
we'll open the line very shortly.
Yeah, two things
I
on
want us to
that.
have in the other discussion.
Yeah,
then,
Jallah, let me just register
please,
the 2
please,
points
please
so that he can clarify. One, if you have to be telling officials who, in this case now, are partisans of the party, to be at the party headquarters by 4 o'clock to prove their loyalty, then don't you think there's a problem with loyalty? That is one.
No,
I mean,
no.
on the part of those officials. Two, if you said they should be there by 4, it means they will leave their working places before 4.
No,
that is
it
still
is- no,
using our time
Julius,
that we are
Julius.
paying them for.
Julius, you will not compare me to
No, you
analyze
said-
my
you
comment
said
the
you
way
should be
no.
at
Be at the party headquarters by 4. Julius, these were political comments made to energize our base.
But they have
If
effect.
I tell you,
They have
Julius,
effect.
late, and you apologize.
I am the interviewer.
No, you are the interviewer. You should have been here. You should have been seated 3:30.
So you
To be
see-
honest, you should have been seated 3:30,
So you
bro.
say-
All right, all right. So Fala and Julius, let me pause to say.
So if one person come 4:30, I understand. Because
Okay.
you're working. If one person came 5 o'clock, I understand as chairperson.
Let me
but
pause.
you should have a baseline, bro.
Let me pause to say you
Julius,
tune to ERBC Radio, and the discussion is with Thomas Pangai Fallah. He is a CDC Vice Chair for Political Affairs. He is our guest, and Julius J is my friend. He's here as a co-host on the show. ERBC, OKFM, Radio 5, Lina, sorry for that, Lina, Bana FM, Freedom FM, and community radio stations, alternative youth radio in Zozo, Radio DMP Law, Radio Kintoma, Radio Bungies, Radio Hopper, G Radio, Radio Plebo, Radio Sancoin, and that of River's broadcasting station are all reading this program on EOBC. I will open the line for you for at least for 20 minutes. Then the rest of the 20 minutes will be taken for question and answer.
No,
Yeah,
I think there are still a few more things to
so
cover,
you-
Jallah.
Yeah, but please, I want to do this because I want to give some details.
What's
go
about
ahead.
what's about
Can you go ahead
No,
first?
what's about the annual Liberian Christian pilgrimage to Israel?
Oh yes, wonderful.
Yeah, please.
Jerry. You see, it was unique and it is unique, and I just want to give God the glory. Thank you for bringing that question, because a few days ago I was in Fallah. I escorted pastors from Fallah. And you know how this program, by the special grace of God, since 2018 I've been running this program.
And that is why I asked. It's happening again.
I've been in Israel along with my family.
You are
and then
Pastor Helper?
Yeah.
When you were rebaptized.
I was rebaptized.
Oh,
And
you
I-
mean
you
Pastor
know what, doing
Helper?
the campaign, doing the senatorial campaign, and then I
Oh.
posted my picture when I
They
went
say
to
you
the Jordan.
they say, oh,
Yeah,
so
that
that was
picture came from the Jordan years when I
they
was
say after you go after the journey, but that doesn't be you.
You know, my man being he won the elections, that is history is beyond us. We're moving on, wishing all the best, like I said to him. But we've been running this program since 2018. The first program was that I took my own family, my wife and kids, along with I think 10 or 15 pastors, because no matter what we do, I'm a strong believer and I love to do things for God. I always like to give. So I always say to myself, whatever we can do for God is the best thing we can do, Judas. All that we do here is vanity, but what you do for God remain and always the best thing to do. So 2018, I took some pastors from Monrovia, Montserrado. We went, and I think there were about 15 or 20 persons we went. We came by, sponsored by me. And 2019, also the Court program, the RCJ, the International Christian Ambassador of Jerusalem, and I was conferred to be the ambassador between Israel and Liberia to the government of Liberia when I made that trip along with my family. So since we came back, I make it a business to always help whatever I can do.
How many
to
persons
turn
are
God.
going this year?
So the 2019 we sent I think 15% went, but then because of the global crisis, the issue of Ukraine and the Russia issue, last year people did not go. I think almost 2 years. So this recent trip we sent 10 persons. They personally I sponsored that. Yeah, it was not government sponsor. That was my personal resources. I identified some of our pastors in Fallah. There were 8 pastors from Fallah that benefited for this year pilgrimage and the win. And they were so excited. They saw some of the historical, biblical things they read in the Bible. And we shared that with them. And then when they came back, when they got back, they asked me to take them to Fallah. I think we ended up Fallah. It was some part of this gone week. We spent the weekend in Fallah, and it was so amazing. You know, our people were so excited to receive the pastors. And they had their own testimony. It was a see and a movement to see.
Okay, now.
So there's going to be, I want to expand a little bit. There's going to be an ongoing program. It's not going to stop. The 8 pastors that came back, and I may mention that we're going to expand this program through the county this time around. It's not going to
The
be
whole of
restricted to
Lufa.
the whole of Lufa. It's not going to be restricted to just District 1 of Fallah. By the special grace of God, I'm going to expand through what we have the 11 administrative districts. So we're going to identify pastor in each of those districts to form part. And then moving into the Muslim, because normally the
Muslims
issue
go
the
to,
Muslim to go to
the
Makkah,
Hajj.
the Hajj. So I've been also involved in that in Montserrado, but I'm taking it now to Lufa. So this
Obvious
year,
reasons too.
okay,
Yeah. Now, two more very important things to our country. The census. Are you concerned about what has happened? And 2, you are so confident about winning 2023 presidential elections. There are concerns about the transparency and fairness of the election. Why are you about cheating and all these kinds of things? Here you are a government in power. You are so confident you don't have a competitor. Are you thinking about rigging the elections?
don't forget the power. This government got elected on the basis of fair play, on the basis of transparency, on the basis of hard work. Liberian people accepted this government, and today the government lost almost 8 or 9 seats where they appointed the elections commissioners. They were head of the joint security of our country. This act, the Liberian people spoke. 2020, where someone today the emphasis still being made. Montserrado was considered, yes, as the stronghold of the CDC. CDC lost elections here. I was the candidate back then. We lost elections, and in fact, I win as the candidate. Congratulated Dillon. wishing all the best, the party wishing the best. So our democratic credential cannot be questioned. George Weah, when it comes to fair play, transparent elections, the records are clean. Grand Bassa County was considered one of the hot spots. They want it from us. Political leaders that are serving today. CDC would have the insinuation people want to make that probably they will rig elections. That was May 10 elections. They did not get involved into it. Those that won the elections, they took their seat and we're moving on. We're on that path. Mr. Weah is on that path. That even if God forbid, which of course I don't want to mention, if it is the other way around, those that will win, we move our country. The interest of our country matters most to this president. He's not talking about hijacking power. So our democratic credential is clear. No one can question that, except maybe you want to ignore the fact that ignoring the fact again, blinding their eyes. Is it not recorded? Is it not a record made to elections in our country 2020? Opposition community won, and the ruling party accepted, succumbed to the elections commission results. Then how come today you want to question the same people that gave you talking about 2023 will be transparent, will be free and fair. The issue of census is good. Census is important for the growth and development of a country. You need to know because it gives you a leeway and an understanding in terms of the development of a country. So all we ask is those responsible to do the honorable thing, the right thing, those that have the statutory responsibility to do what we're hearing us about procurement.
Are you concerned about the glitches in the process?
We are concerned, so we appeal. We will use this medium to appeal to them because not even an appeal, because it is their responsibility to do the right thing. That's why they were given responsibility to do. And we know that they are technicians. They are supported by international partners. They're also supported by this government to make sure all of the T's and D's are being put in place. So the right thing can be done for our people so that census can go on and then our people can be enumerated at the end of the day for development purpose, for political purposes, so that we can move on. So we urge them to do
Thank you, Honorable Thomas Pangai Fallah. But the final question from my side, as we take 15 minutes of calls and the rest of 15 minutes will be used for answer, is you a petition in Fallah district. I will ask these questions every time. This question every time you come here because sometimes you will change. You are a representative of District 5, but you were petitioned in Fallah when I was there with A.B. William to contest in Fallah. And your people say they want to see you aspire to a big position, not just be representative, maybe a speaker some days. Do you have? Are you?
You don't let a joke. Don't put me in situation.
No, are you considering to run in a district in Fallah, or you say when went in District 5?
Don't put me in problem.
I have got cogent information that you are not running in District 5 of Montserrado County.
Tell us the truth.
I'm still the leader of District number 5.
Will you contest there?
I'm going to win. But what is important is just tell you that the person you speaking with, because it's always good for people to think positive about you. They will never think positive when you're not thinking positively. So for people of what you term, but people from Lofa, Fallah, because it's my county and district of origin, so no one can take that from me. Visiting our area and the people see necessary, they say, my man, no, we want you to come back home. There's something to discuss for another day. But I'm the representative of district number 5. I'm the leader of district number 5. I'll get direction. I'll shift the direction.
He will be clear on the one.
Today we move in district number 5. You'll see influence. The records are there. So we stay around when the time comes to level.
But it seems you are also a resident of Fallah.
Oh, of course.
Almost every weekend you are in Fallah.
Oh, no, not every weekend.
That's just almost. I didn't say every.
Okay, almost, no. I'll just keep for that anyway. So, but Fallah is our place, Lofa is our place, and then we got a serious political interest there, to be honest.
Now, finally, Jallah, before, let's come back to
December 20. I just want to mention on December 20, because
what is happening again?
We got various districts in our plan of actions, and I know most of our coordinators and people are listening, so that they can get program. The mobilization committee has been doing very well. Mr. Silly, along with his team, the rest of the guys, they've been doing very well. And then we just want to read out the schedules for the visitation of our national chairman, along with the steering committee, including me, that will be moving into those various districts. So I just want to use this meeting quickly before we get to your lines opening, so that those listening, especially concerned party persons, can begin to take note. So we will commence that. We're hoping that the chairman will return in the next 2 days we pick up that process of mobilization in the 17 districts to commence with Montserrado County on the 5th of November. On the 5th of November, district number 9 will be hitting district number 9. Get ready to receive all 10 to 11. On the same 5th will be in district number 8, 12 to 1:30. District number 7 will be there 2 to 3:30. District number 14 will be there from 4 to 5:30. District number 15, district number 16 will run through up to 9:30. Day 2 will be district number 10, beginning on the 6th of November. District number 5, district number 3, district number 6 will run through up to 10. So please take note. Day 3 will be district 17, because district number 17 is very huge, it's very big. So we'll spend the entire day in district 17. And day 4 will be district number 2, district number 12, district number 11, district number 13. We're going to tour up to 9, 10. Day 5, we're going to use district number 4 to really sit in district number 4 to do some work. And day 6 will be district number 1, because that is also huge. It's a rural district. So we're going to engage those districts. So we want to say to all of our coordinators, our Zuna heads, our Women League, our Auxiliary, our Youth League, please take note that we'll be moving into those areas. Please do your mobilization, and we will be coming. And another thing I want to stress on is the relaunching of the CDC membership fund drive. We have said we want to do the 1 million rally. But the executive committee of our party have decided to redesign. I'm going to move because parties need to pay their dues, and I want to use this as an announcement. So we're going to launch that on the 12th of November. November 12th, there will be a big
That's my son's birthday.
Oh yeah, but we're celebrating at the HQ.
He turns 18 on that day.
Oh, but then a big day, bro. We're going to celebrate with you. So on the 12th of November.
First time voter.
Okay, but he rapped already. I mean, we got one vote. So on the 12th, there will be a big program where partisans, sympathizers, our friends, Julius, please do if I make mistakes with you, correct? Partisans, sympathizers, affiliates, our friends will be converging at the party headquarters in Congotown, where indeed partisans will be asked to pay the due or reactivation of due payments. For example, all members of the legislature, you have to pay accumulatively $5,000 US. We expect that money to be paid because we got a lot of party work to do.
Accumulatively from when to when?
Maybe because you got in our constitution annually.
Okay.
They got due payments, so they accumulate to that amount. So those in ministerial positions, commissioners, 5,000 the same way, assistant minister, and down to the least partisans, the commoner pay $1. So you listening to me through this media, if you're not in this bracket, make sure you're $1